Hey guys. Creativity. Creativity. Creation. What it is, what it's all about, what we're all a part of, and how you get so separated from it. Okay, we're going to break it down into a cosmic collective at this point. So whatever it is that your definition, interpretation, understanding, feeling, or belief of God is, fill in the blank. As if you were in an AA meeting. Whatever God means to you. So I'm going to call God the source. So I'm making a reference to the source, where everything comes from. Whatever your belief is, fill in the blank. Okay? So there's this source of infinite everything. Beyond anything you can think, ask for, imagine, or understand. Colors more spectacular than anything we've ever seen. Life at a level that we have never experienced, and even the most energetic, enthusiastic person that you know or have ever known has never even touched on the levels of how massive it is. The greatest nebulous, the greatest source, the greatest power that you have ever glimpsed, it's even beyond that. That's the source that we get to tap. And then there's us, the created being. The being that came into this life creation experience to play, to enjoy, to explore, to experience, to grow, to expand, to devour, consume, to create. So what's the problem? Seems like it would make sense, right? There it is. It's like there's the source, there's the creation, the source and the creation. It's like, what is the universe? Is the source holding out on us and going, no, you can only have it in little tiny measures? Or is all of it available to us? I personally believe it's all available to us. What's the limitation? It's called growing up. You see, babies don't have it. Babies just are babies. Right? They're just babies. And you were all one. I was one. And we were just babies. We were just being babies. No limitations, no hesitations, no worries, no bills, no problems, no nothing. Just created beings in the infinite realm of the source's playground. Things start to happen. I'm not going to get into all the details of what happens, but things start to happen. Information gets in. Things go on. And ego arises. Now there's ego. Ego. Self. Me. And then self starts to go, ooh, look at this. And as self develops, self can start to create a separation. Many have said the acronym for ego is to ease God out. Meaning the more of you, the less of him. The more of him, the less of us. If he's creation, if the source is infinite creation, then why would we want to ease that out? I don't know, but we do. We get all up in our old bad selves. Then we start kicking in all these other ingredients that aren't so positive, like the fears and the limitations and the hesitations and the plans. I have plans for the future. I wouldn't want to harm myself now. I have plans for the future. Be careful. Hold back. Stop. Don't. What's some of the first words we hear as little children? No, don't. Stop. Stay. You can't. Why? Because we have screwed up parents? Or do they care about us and they don't want us to get hurt? I think they don't want us to get hurt. Even if they are a little screwed up, I think their main heart is that they're looking after us. But in that process, there's also limitations starting to come in. All right? And then this can start to fester and go down that road to the point of no return where you really can't get back because you're so consumed with self that you wouldn't know anything creative if it came up and it bit you. But we're not going there because that's not us. All right? Because we're in the creative playground. Something drew you to Hollywood. Something drew you to this creative mecca where it all goes on 24/7, nonstop, 365, all the time. Creation and creating and creation and creating, getting plugged into the source and being part of this amazing infinite thing. And then expressing it in our own unique style. Through singing or dancing or a certain art form or uniqueness of whatever that just happens to be your art of expressing. And that expression is the connection to the source of life, to the source of everything fantastic and sensational. And when we create, even non-creative people, when they do something where they create, there's a surge. There's a surge. We get something out of it. The further we get away from creation, the further we get away from the source. The further we get away from the source, the further we're getting away from our nutrients, our vitamins, our minerals, our sustenance. The more we get in, the closer we get in, the more connected we are to the nutrient-dense foods, the alive enzymes, the rich, complete proteins, the vegetables, the fruits, the herbs, and all the amazing things that make us flourish. Have our skin look great. Put a zip in our skip and a glide in our stride. All those things when we create. Of these exercises, and my passion is to help get you over, and I want to just say the 51%, but the 65%, where you've got leverage and momentum working for you, where you wouldn't even think about not being creative. Because you can't. If you got close to 50%, you'd start getting dry, let alone 45, 30, 20, forget that. You're like that's death zone. That's crazy. The healthy place is 80. Or 80% of your life you're creating. You're creating something. You're in the kitchen creating a new dish. You're creating an email and you're putting a little flair to it and saying it with a bit of zip or style. You're redecorating your room or changing the way that you dress or whatever. There's so many levels and ways and everything to be creative and just being in it all the time so it's not a project. One project would be like, I did that by 12. What do I do next? Okay, I got another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. And now you're an artist. Because you're constantly creating. And that's what artists do. They create. They can't not. They can't not. Gauge yourself. Where am I with this fight? Self and creation. Self and creation. Where am I? And just like right now, if there's a meter in your head, and like right over here is 0, right here is 50, right over here is 100. Where is this meter in you? You know, just be honest, because we're not going to ask you. Just gauge, where is this? Where are you in the creative path, journey, exploration? And if you're here or be here, oh man, that's intensive care. We got to get on this thing and really kick this thing. And there's nothing more important. There's no friend, there's no relative, there's no project, there's no anything more important than you nourishing that creative inner genius of yours. You've got to get on it and get in this thing. If you're here at 50%, you need to start working and get up here towards 65, get some momentum underneath you, and start shooting for a goal of 80% where you're really constantly creating and doing creative things. Don't sit around by the telephone waiting for an audition because you're an actor and everybody that knows you're an actor now. And then you get that audition and you scramble and you go there and you get your 48 seconds in the room to audition. To walk out of there and think that that's your creative hype. I mean, my gosh, that's like throwing a flax seed to a bodybuilder and saying, here, that's crazy, man. You got to get into the deeper end of the pool with things, and that's what this is all about. Okay?